Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So recently, a man by the name of Tectone has come under fire, a member of my beardy baldy clan who you're probably familiar with his gaming streams. Some people have called him a gooner gamer because of the types of games he plays and the camera angles he chooses to play these games at. This has nothing to do with his personal choices regarding his entertainment value, whether he does on or off stream. This has to do with his father. Recently, he's come under flack because he's been wheeling his father out on certain streams to show him off, I guess, as a way to peek behind the curtain, get to know me as a person, instead of the anonymity that I'm used to with content creators. Don't show your family, don't show your kids off on stream. You want to have that level of separation. Not because you don't want to air your dirty laundry or anything like that, but just because you should keep them safe. It's like superheroes wearing a mask and all that. You don't want to know who their family is. They do that because they don't want you to know who their family is either. But Tectone didn't get the memo. He brought his father out a few times, and some people pointed out, most notably lefty streamer Hassan Piker, pointed out that his dad did some really terrible things in the past. Like, really bad. Laws have been named after his father because of the way that he abused people while he was in our armed forces. It's a very unpleasant thing to learn about your dad. I understand that. Tectone then said he wasn't going to have his father on streams anymore, that people were trying to cancel him, that this was causing undue stress on his family and on his personal life, and he just wanted to, go back to streaming as normal. And I will admit that there are going to be some people out there who put the termly online leftist part of my name to shame, who will blame you for the sins of your ancestors, who will say that you are not only responsible, but complicit in colonialism because, your great granddad owned slaves, or because your great great grandfather was complicit in war crimes, something like that. You're responsible for the things that your ancestors did, and you're branded for that for life. This isn't just a left-right dichotomy either. I know that the stereotype with cancel culture is it's lefties, but you go online and you get a right-winger riled up enough and they'll just make up lies about your lineage and your family to dismiss you. They'll say you come from a certain religious background or that your family came from a certain country and that means you should be dismissed. Now, most normal people, I think, will understand that you should judge people based on what they've done, that the sins of the father is a ridiculous concept and you shouldn't be held responsible for the things that your parents or their parents did, that you are your own person and you make your own life, and that you shouldn't be held liable for anything that they did in the past. This isn't exactly what's going on with Tectone right now because you're showing off your father. You're using him as a prop for your content. And then when things came to light about the things he did in the very recent past, you brushed this off. You still haven't condemned the things he's done. I assume you still live in his house or he still lives in your house. He still comes by semi frequently. If this wasn't your father, would you still be friends with someone who's done the things that he's done? That's the real issue I have with something like this. Some people love saying blood is thicker than water and that you have to hold your family up. You have to keep defending them no matter what because they're the only family you've got. But when your family does awful things, when you learn about the awful things your family has done, and then you choose to do nothing about it, yes, I would say you're complicit. Yes, I would say that you hold some responsibility, especially as a creative, that you're showing your audience this type of person and you're telling them that it's okay for these things to have happened, that you don't need to cut them out of your life at all. And I don't know about you, but I don't hang out with rapers. I don't hang out with sexual assaulters. On a personal note, there is a part of me that feels glad that my father died when I was very young. Everything I've learned about him from my mother and his family leads me to believe that he was a relatively normal guy. There wasn't anything weird to learn about him. He didn't have a criminal record. Probably was an undiagnosed autist with the way he sorted his candy and annoyed people with repeated jokes, but he didn't do anything bad. There's no criminal record for me to find on him. There's no laws named after him. I don't know. I guess to sum all this up, you shouldn't attack people for the things that their parents have done unless they're defending the horrible things their parents have done. Sins of the father as a concept is ridiculous, and we should only condemn people for the things that they've done personally or the things they believe. And when it comes to the horrible things your family has done, If you learn something heinous about someone close in your life and you do nothing about it, I believe this is a reflection of who you are as a person, and you can't be surprised if people look down on you for being in cahoots with a raper, even if it's your father. If anybody tries to blame you or say that you're responsible for the things that your family members or your long lost ancestors have done, I'm sure we can all agree that you should just not really pay those people any mind. But when it comes to the people in your life that you're defending on a day to day basis, because you can't change the things that other people have done, you can't change the past or anything that has happened there. But you can take a stand now. You can stand up for what is right. You can stand up for the people who are victimized, even, or rather, especially when they were victimized by your family or people that you're close to. You do hold that responsibility. But I guess until the next time a member of my beardy baldy clan is covering up my entire social media feed, y'all try to have a good day.